Today we explored Bourke, its Main Street and riverfront district, the people that it has contributed to the world, a marooned bridge, and the rather excellent Back of Bourke Interactive Museum. The adventure continues. Before we left Cobar, we stopped for coffee at Country Simplicity, and we were memorised by this amazing wall of clocks. If you've ever heard the saying, the Back of Bourke, to mean the outback of Australia or somewhere really a long way away, well, this is the Bourke of that saying. Bourke, New South Wales is the beginning of the outback. At least some say so, including the Bourke Council. We started at the Port of Bourke, now a riverside park more than a working port, but a remembrance of a time when Bourke was a bustling port for river trade. The river is very high and flowing fast, thanks to recent cyclones and rains in southern Queensland, feeding into the Darling River. Bourke, like a lot of small country towns, has a very pretty main street.
Let's go for a walk.
Repurposed old houses make great government offices. There are these beautiful old buildings in every town in Australia. You'll find a Commonwealth Bank in almost every small town because it was the original Australian bank. There's always a pub or two, or three or four, depending on the size of the town, and an ornate post office building. This beautiful building is currently used by National Parks as a regional headquarters. Sadly, pretty much every rural main street has its share of disused buildings. Why is there so much telecommunication equipment aside the post office? Because back in the day when we started telecommunications in Australia, it was run through the post office. So the tradition has continued that it is co-located, even though now Telstra is a completely independent entity from the Australian Postal Service. So why stop at a random cemetery outside of Bourke? Because of this man over there, Fred Hollows. Fred Hollows restored sight to thousands of people over the years around the world through the Fred Hollows Foundation. Fred Hollows was a New Zealand-born Australian eye surgeon and humanitarian who restored sight to thousands of people, especially in remote and Indigenous communities. His work revolutionised global eye care and continues through the Fred Hollows Foundation, found in 1992, just before he passed. Percy Hobson was the first Aboriginal athlete to win a gold medal for Australia at the 1962 Perth Commonwealth Games in the high jump. Although not Bourke-born, Henry Lawson, writer and bush poet, spent 10 years in Bourke. The Back of Bourke Interactive Display and Museum is one beautiful museum telling the history of Bourke and the entire surrounding area.
And its people.
The museum experience starts with an excellent 20-minute animated movie telling the story of the Aboriginal owners and their relationship to the land and river. I can't begin to even touch on everything covered in this rather beautiful museum. It is dense with knowledge in very thoughtful and well-designed displays. The architecture is inspiring, and the third pavilion tells the stories of the many people who have contributed to Bourke or contributed to the world from Bourke. This section has stations where we can hear the many stories of people connected to the land.